driving our van around the corner to warm her up and also put her at the front of our house so that we can put in our massive 300-pound workbench without walking too far. We picked pretty much the hottest day so far this year to lift a 300-pound workbench, but hello! Everyone, meet Carlos. Carlos, meet everyone.
We gotta put this gun to use.
Thank you, Carlos.
Big goal for today is getting this workbench mounted into the van. Woo! Big shout out for my dad for getting us these made. They're custom welded feet to replace the wheels, the casters that came with the workbench. So
No one wants a rolling workbench
that's
in a
right.
van.
We want it bolted down through several points. So he basically got these made for us so that we can still use the screws that came with the bench and screw them up this way, but then also bolt them down this way as well. So still trying to figure out how we're going to do that, but that's today.
So see, we have 4 pilot holes drilled in the front and the back leg, and then over here too. Joe's still in the hole. 3 of the 4 are just screws. These little guys. Well, they're big. They're pretty big. They'll go right into the floor. And then the other ones are pretty big bolts. Babe, you want to show them the bolts? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Going all the way through with these.
Yeah. We put some Reflectix on the back.
Yeah, it's Rattletrap.
Ah.
The holes are lining up, thankfully. And the trick to this was no measuring took place at all. Just Sharpied the marks. And then took it out, drilled the holes, put it back, and it seems to work. So now we'll see if I can get these bolts all the way through to catch a lock nut and a nut on the other side underneath the van.
There it is. There she be.
And all this has to be done by hand, unfortunately. The drill does not have the capabilities to come in here at this angle. So I haven't thought of a workaround, and by the time I do, I'll be done with this. So.
Okay, they're in. Alright, we're just putting our drawers into the workbench itself. Make sure you line it with a little rubber bottom liner so anything that you put in the van won't jiggle around when you're driving. And yeah, little by little, it's coming together. Going again. We're getting more wire for our van because we need to attach the fridge and the water pump, which we totally forgot about. I have a conundrum. They do have different wires. This one's solid, so it's like one whole chunk of metal. And this one is stranded, so there's like lots of little strands. And that looks like more what we have in the van, but that's what we cut. So Is there a difference? Should we call Chris?
Congress. We accidentally got solid wire instead of like this stranded. Stranded's better to use in the van because it flexes, it's easier to work with. This is very unforgiving and rigid, and if you bend it too many times, it can break, so.
Gotta be careful. We're finally assembling the electrical panel.
Woo-hoo.
It's kind of a one-man job just because we don't have like double the tools. You need a crimper.
Tight space.
You need it is also a very tight space, as is everything in the van. You need a crimper. You need I keep wanting to say a blowtorch. It's not. What is it?
Lighter.
A lighter.
Yeah.
And Philip is going to walk you through what he's doing. That beautiful panel.
Yeah.
Was Christopher's making, so thank you, and it's laid out beautifully.
Yep, and basically I'm just trying to get our circuits all wired up. So like this is a ring terminal. You light this, kind of running out of gas here, but you try to melt that rubber onto the wire so that no air can get in. And then this ring terminal happens to be a negative, so it goes on a specific place through one of these screw holes.
We've got wires going through these little organizers and into the fuse box. I don't really know if it's a box, it's a panel. So far, just 3 circuits. And they go all the way through there. Extra organization. And, just one wire at a time. Was it worth it?
Always.
Always. Philip said something came in the mail. Oh my gosh. Presents. It's Christmas. Wow, that is a good box.
That's a good box.
We're keeping that box. Oh yeah.
So much stuff. For something that can't break.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Water jugs.
Yes. Oh my god, they're huge. They're so pretty. I love the color.
Yeah, it's a nice color.
Not that that matters.
Teal?
But I like it. So we got these because some beautiful human being figured out how to use the cap to do all this tubing stuff, make sure water doesn't flow out. We'll link it in the description below. But yeah, this cap comes with a whole nozzle with threads, so you can get the right attachments. Super easy, and highly recommend using this situation. These jugs are also, the sizes are awesome for normal cabinets. We bought ours at Home Depot and it should fit nicely. Let's go see. The nozzle just comes up a little bit too high, so we're gonna cut out the bottom of the cabinet, which will give us an extra, it looks like 4 inches of space. So we're just gonna take this out, drop this down, and that'll give us enough space so that we can use gravity and make sure that the water is going where it's supposed to go, which is in the bucket. Well, that was quick.
Yeah. Get better at it. This thing is so hot.
Man.
Toasty.
Okay. Well, nothing's perfect. We're actually going to put the back on. Because we're going to orient these a little differently and support the back a little bit more. Whoops. And we just got to kilt the bottom.
This will help waterproof it, because this is just cheap, cardboard squished together, wood chunks. So this will help it be not only waterproof but anti-mold.
Yeah. Break time. Gotta let the cabinet dry. Ice water. Important. Okay, so this is a butcher block countertop that we got from Home Depot. We want to square this off so that we don't run into it. We'll probably use this as a little cutting board or something. We can figure that out later.
And we're gonna be rounding this off eventually, but for now we're just gonna make a little cut. We don't want to run into this corner every day and scratch up our legs, so we're just gonna round this out, make it nice and pretty. Highly recommend using a bowl to be able to trace that. We actually ended up using quite a big bowl to make sure that this edge feeds nicely into the straight edge. This was a pain in the We finally got our sink measurements.
Retrofit it.
Yeah. So we got a square sink, and we were playing around for so long trying to figure out, so this line is the one we drew on the from underneath the cabinet, and that is where the cabinet comes, and we were like, oh god, the sink has to fit in the cabinet, we have to somehow fit it in there. We forgot that the sink rests on top of this countertop, so it doesn't actually even matter. So we followed the instructions, basically traced the outside of the cabinet, the outside of the sink, and then you push it in 1 1/4 inches, oh my god, my brain is not working, 5/16 of an inch, so a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. That is the line that you have to cut on. Yeah, look, it fits.
It fits. The question is, does it fit in here? And it does.
Yay!
We did it.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. So accomplished.
Looks real.
Looks legit. We gotta send a picture to your dad and brother because they were watching us go crazy over this.
Oh my god, I know. The sink is actually so annoying to figure out.
Oh, there's one.
The world's got too many options, people.
So many options. Oh my.
Mama.
Oh, yeah.
Finishing touch.
Wow. Look at that beauty.
It's gonna look so cool.
We feel accomplished, even though we're tired and ready for some barbecue.
Mm-hmm. My god, I got sunburnt today.
Here's a hot one. Got the fro going. Calling it quits.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Hey guys! I'm just sewing our curtains. Got these dope magnets off Amazon. These are going to look awesome and serve as bug nets, both in the back here and on our side door. Could have bought screens, custom made, but they're a little expensive and really just need a barrier so that bugs don't get through. We'll see how they work in practice, but I think this will look pretty solid. Anyway, get yourself some powerful magnets and just sew it on in. I want to shout out to my mom for teaching me how to sew. Only took 26 years, finally doing it. Really do wish I had a sewing machine though. Oh well. This tucks in under here. I have to cut that corner off actually. Started the morning off with some plush trim work. There are like a couple random corners in the van that have the metal exposed, and we got some spray foam on it. So we're just covering it up with this felt that we found online. It's like car headboard. What is it called? Headliner felt.
Headliner.
It's just better to look at than like a spray foamed metal, van piece. And Philip is finishing the electrical. It's going.
It's going. This
Very
is
cool.
A little tricky, but the goal now is to tap into this pre-installed wire that we think they use because this is a USPS van, so this is to hook up to the computers that they use. So instead of that, we're cutting the wire clean and hoping to tap into this with a crimp connection to charge your battery through the alternator.
This day's kind of been all over the place, but we are currently staining some of our the wood pieces that go on our laundry sink. Wait, no, kitchen sink. just a little bit of staining. It's super easy. Just get a brush and get the stain. Make sure it's nice and sanded. Kind of boring to show, so we didn't. Our drill broke, so we bought a new one. Right now, I'm getting antsy because we keep looking at this beautiful backsplash, and we really want to put it up, so we're just gonna put it up. Oh my god. I put him there yesterday. It looks really, really funny. Check it out. Beautiful backsplash. So excited about it. This was by far the most satisfying project of the van. I wanted to thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this May. I know this month has been a little crazy. We have not had a plan, and that's okay. We will see you next month for hopefully finishing the van, since we need to be on the road. So we will be finishing the van. We'll see you next time.